So, good morning, class. I hope you're doing okay. You have something hot to drink. The connection helps us. Today, we have work to do. Hopefully, we can also finish great part of the job, of the work in class. So you already have that to your advantage. And you don't have to start from zero. So again, our weekly organization, and what I recommend you to do every day. We are in week 8. So time is flying, really. Time is passing very quickly. So there's no time to wait for anything else. We need to check the forum postings, participate in forums. Yes. And complete the tasks. Because a bitácora will be asked soon. Let us check that. So modules evaluations. At this point, in many other modules, you know you have a grade. Ya vieron que muchos otros módulos ya tienen nota. So we are at that point in which we have to start thinking about our grades. So I organized this schedule for you to see. These are the first 10 weeks. So the first part of the semester is over. You have some scattered grades. You have 100, for example, if you have completed your tasks. And in the cases I gave you formative feedback. So that's an idea that you're progressing, that you're doing well. If you don't have a grade, then that means you have not done anything. You don't have 100. It is because you have not completed those tasks, for example. So last week, we started with the silent period, and we introduced task 4, which was already done or partly done here in class. So it was not so difficult to continue working. We are here today, week 8. We will continue around the topic of silent period, doing something else. That is task 5. And we will also try to work in class, in groups, so that you have that accomplished for next week. Next week, here you can see the bitácora is due. The midterm bitácora revision is due for you to receive formative feedback and extra credits. So the challenge is that you complete the bitácora with 5 tasks before we have this week of autonomous work. So for next week, there will be a tile on Educandos. Remember, we have divided into tiles. And in there, you will upload your bitácora with everything finished at that moment. Yes, learning bitácora here. So you will have your learning bitácora midterm assessment. During the week, I will give you feedback. The idea is that you have feedback, formative feedback, if there is anything to complete, and you earn some extra credit. So when I revise again in July, you already have some credits to your favor. Yes? Do we understand?
Yes.
¿Está claro? Entonces, la revisión de la bitácora en este momento es para adelantar trabajo. O sea, yo ya tengo completo 5 tareas de la bitácora. Tengo créditos extra y luego ya tengo un trabajo menos arduo hacia el final del semestre. Then we will do also midterm quiz revision. So this will be another task. Yes, and then you will add this task later. Yes, este va a ser otra tarea que le agregarán luego a la bitácora. And this is a task for revision because on week 10, so here, red arrows. So this is important sections of your grade. Yes, so esto es importante para la nota final. You have the midterm quiz online. The midterm quiz, you know how it looks like. We have done online quizzes last year. Do you remember the quizzes online? ¿Se acuerdan cómo era el quiz online en Educandos?
No.
Well, okay, we will see an example. You have a question and you have to answer there on Educandos. Some questions are multiple choice, some others are matching, some others require an answer. Yeah, so there are different kinds of questions online. I will try to find some quiz there to show you. And it will be open for several days, so you don't have problems with connection. And that's the first grade on SGC, yes? Entonces, este es la primera nota formal en el sistema de gestión curricular. Entonces, esto tiene que ser todo lo que hemos aprendido hasta ahora. So, you have time to revise for that, yes. But that means we are not just not doing things. Yes, we are not in a status of no, later, we can do it later. No, it is now. And then we have a week for autonomous work in which you will have still time to complete more tasks of something you haven't completed. Also, your participation on the form. Okay, do you have any doubts so far? Just for you to have an idea, we will record this. This is an old quiz on Educandos. So for example, I can give you a question that is a multiple choice. And you have to add the correct, choose the correct verb. Yes. Here you have to match. Yes, so every morning, and I have to choose which is the verb. It's like a kind of multiple choice, or it can also be a matching exercise. Next, you have a reading. Yeah, so in this one, you have only a reading. So the next page, you will have an answer. Yes, it could be an open answer. You will have a square to write, or in this case, is again a matching exercise. Do you remember about this?
Yes.
Yes, then you have true or false. Okay, so this is, and here is an open answer, yes? So in this case, whenever you have this one, you have an open answer to write. In those cases, and in every case, in reality, every case, I can access to the points, and I can upgrade the points in case of need. So you did this last year. So this is the quiz online. It will be on the topic of our module. So there will be lots of different kinds of exercises, but more or less those reading, true, false, multiple choice, matching, writing, different ones. Yes. So do you understand so far?
Yes, teacher.
¿Este quiz debemos hacerlo ahora?
No. This is on week 10.
Ah, en 2 semanas.
Yes, I am showing you the quiz, how it looks like for you to remember. This will be online on the week 10th. Next week, we will do the revision, and that's another task. Yes, the revision task. Okay, then what else do we have to remember? Bitácora. Again, the bitácora will be asked. Yes. Bitácora. Here we have the tasks. With the task of today, we have 5 tasks. So we have 5 tasks in the Bitácora midterm week 9, all portfolios, yes. So you will receive formative feedback and extra credit. So this is a great opportunity for you to save time for the future, also help me use my time better. So I will know that the Bitácoras I have revised, okay, I have half of the Bitácora already done, revised. And so it is easier for me by the end of the semester in July. And we will have midterm assessment, as I explained to you, the quiz. The quiz will be online, and we will revise for that next week with a task. And discussion online in class as well. Then the forum. Again, the forum, for you to remember, the forum, always remember the forum. So it's only a 10% of my final grade. But if I only have ones, you need to be able to see that your final grade is not going to be so good. So again, you're letting this part of your grade escape your hands. And I don't understand why. So the forum, and this is a reminder, forum postings, in order to earn a passing grade, you need to comment to 2 classmates' posts. And we have said this. This is not new. This is absolutely not new. You know you have to comment to your classmates, and you have a model. You have an example, a model on week 5. So on week 6. And there are previous models as well. So in week 4, I think. So you can find all of this support on Educandus. There is no way, there is absolutely no way you escape this. Unless you decide not to do it, and that is your decision, okay? But you have a lot of support to do it. Okay, and then finally, last night I was just peeping into your infographics and posters, and they're so great that I thought you could present them to your classmates for 5 minutes, because they're great. They're really great, colorful, informative. So let us present them. Go to forum on week 5. We have your wonderful presentation. So Phoebe, can you see? Can you see Phoebe?
Yeah, lo subí super mal.
No, it's great. It's great. So something brief about your infographic. What did you learn the most here from this website that you read?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What have you learned from this website that you read and that helped you with the infographic?
Oh, I learned there are many ways to do creating environment to teach to my students.
Yes, exactly. There are different ways. And all of these ways refer to creating an environment to teach language. And which will you recommend the most? One number.
Oh, that is so difficult.
Yeah, it is. Probably
Maybe some of the first when you decorate the classroom.
Yes, exactly. For example, this one, the word walls, which is so
Yes.
easy, and schools have it in Spanish as well, in math, or in Spanish, could be Spanish language or science. Yes, and this is so easy to do with different subjects. And with English, if you have your students surrounded by the words in English, it would be easier for them to learn quickly. Yes, exactly, Phoebe. Thank you, thank you. The next one, Catalina. Yeah, great, they're great, really. If we could print them and based on our walls on campus, they will be great as well. Catalina, some words of your infographic?
No, I like it.
Yes, you like it.
At the first time, it was difficult because we don't no, we didn't want to copy and paste. So we need to comprehend the information of the PDF, and later we have the we write the idea.
Yes, excellent. So that's the idea. That's excellent. That's excellent. You need to understand. You need to understand what you're doing, what you're reading, and then write in your own words. That's the perfect idea. And which do you think is the most important of
The
all
most
of these,
important,
or the one you think is relevant to teach your children, your future children, your future students?
I think that play with words, maybe.
Play with words here, yes.
Yes, I think that it is very important that children, obviously, in this case, learning through games.
They learn through games, yes.
So that is the point. Play.
Yes, and they manipulate.
Yes, they need it.
Words. Yes, exactly. So that's great. A good way to learn. Excellent. I love it. Excellent. So those are great creations. So we need to share them. One more would be, check. Let me check. So I need to go back. This is Paola Javiera. Paola and Daphne together. Javiera, would you like to say something about your infographic? If you can't speak, you can write on the forum, on the chat.
I just wanted to put everything but make it simple, like minimalistic.
Yes. Yes, that's our job, to sometimes to download everything that is important, difficult, to something that is simple, understandable. So this is a great work. This is a great job. Only talking about different techniques and activities that you can do with children to help them learn language. Which do you think is something you would use here in Linares, for example?
Finding new ways to say old things, I think. Very important.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know how it is in Linares, but I'm talking from the DACA perspective at least.
Yes, also. So for example, I think it is here a method to spice up writing. Yes, for example, the teacher says, well, you have used the word good a lot. So I used to do that with my students also. So don't use the word good, big, small, those adjectives that are so common. So what are you going to say instead of good? And we had lots of synonyms and other words. So this is a way to teach vocabulary. Because if you only use one word, then you're not learning all of the other words that can help you express the same idea. So this is something great. And you have to do it also in your mother tongue. Yes, with children in their mother tongue. Teach them to spice up. Spice up, o sea, ponerle más color, más, ¿cómo se diría? Más sabor a la escritura, in a way that they use words that are more appropriate sometimes, but also not so common. Yes. Palabras que no son tan comunes, tan usadas normalmente. Okay. Y sometimes more appropriate, son más apropiadas para decir, this is a magnificent work, instead of saying this is a good work. Entonces, soy más exacto cuando busco, en este caso, un adjetivo más descriptivo. Okay, excellent. So as you can see, you are very creative. You have great ideas. Every time we have an opportunity, we're going to share so that we see how creative you are. And to spice up your work a little bit and to motivate you. But we really need to keep working. There is no way we're going to go beyond or advance if we don't keep working. So this is my great recommendation. Okay, so hopefully the girls can connect later. So do you have any questions so far in regards evaluation? So are we clear? We need next week, we need bitácoras completed. Is that clear? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? ¿Me escuchan? Can you hear me? Okay. No, only one task. So this is Catalina's last semester's portfolio. So you have at the beginning all your data, yes. And this is written, this is already written. And then you have task 1. And you need to fulfill this data, yes. The date, when it was made, what was the topic, which were the materials, and which were the activities you developed. Yes, so Catalina describes the activities. What did she do? There was a first task, a second task. And then she copied the complete task. So in here, in the core of the task, you copy and paste your task. Yes, so this is the task. This is the task that she completed. Okay. So this is the task. And then the last part includes the reflections in which you have some questions to answer. Yes? In general, I ask you, what did you learn? What would you do differently? Yes, and what would you like to learn from other tasks and activities? In general, I might have changed the questions, but in general, those are the questions. The idea is that you complete this little by little, and also that you write your reflections little by little so that I see a progress in your development. Okay, is this clear? It was not great to see with it was just an example. And every task will be the same. Then when that finishes, you start task 2. You have a title, you have a date, you have a topic, and you have activities, you have the task, and your infographics, everything goes there, and then your reflections. So you keep on going with the process. Yes, Catalina, did you have a question?
I'm sorry. Se supone que debe ser toda la actividad, toda la guía debe ser copiada ahí.
Yes.
Ya son actividades previa a la lectura, durante y posterior.
Yes, exactly. All of the activities contained in the task, pre, while, and post. Some are longer, some are shorter, some are questions, answers. All of those go there in the body, ¿sí? En el medio, en el cuerpo de esa tarea.
Ah,
y
okay.
siempre al final la reflexión sobre esa tarea. So that reflection that you saw was about the whole task. Okay. Questions? So here we were in
No
questions
yet.
and answers. Yes, and please, Catalina, tell Vanessa and Paola and Krishna, the girls that could not connect, to revise this video, because we're going to revise about the silent period and the tasks that you needed to complete in task 4. Okay, so what do you remember of the silent period? Something that you could remember of what we saw last week. Okay, we can write here. What did we say about the silent period? What did it mean? You remember?
I'm thinking.
Thinking, okay, silent period as well. Remember?
Prefer to learn something.
So it's a starting moment, yes, in the learning process. Like a starting point, we can say, in the learning process, or it can also be called pre-production period, yes, before you can produce. Even when I ask you about the topic, then you need to think, yes, you need to remember, and this is because you are in your learning process, yes, so starting point in the learning process. What else did we know about the silent period? What happens at this time in the learning process with the learner? If it is a language learner, for example, or in many cases other learners, but language learners, what happens with these learners? You read the examples in the text. Do you remember what happened to these children? They were in classes.
O sea, yo tengo entendido que ese es de los niños escuchan.
Yes.
A partir de lo que dice, a partir de su environment.
Yes, exactly. So learners listen to language. Learners. Oh, so I want to write the plural. Learners listen to language in their environments.
Lo que guardé. También listen and try to absorb information.
Yes, exactly. They listen
and just repeat few words.
Absorb. Okay, we need to change the colors to see what we're writing. Yes, exactly. Absorb information. Exactly. Also, when we listen and try to absorb information about the topic, yes, I need to listen. Okay, what is going on? Listen and try to absorb information in general. It can be on a topic, on language. Yes.
And
exactly.
last point, the last circle, maybe it's a good idea to put the children just repeat. Repeat words, but they don't understand the meaning of the words.
Yes, exactly. They don't produce new language. Yes. So this is not a silent period in language for you, because I ask you a question, you answer. What about the silent period? Oh, children just listen, just repeat words. They don't produce new discourse, but you're producing a new discourse. So as an analysis, I can say Catalina is not undergoing the silent period. Yes, but we will see in some videos you're going to watch how children react with their first words in a language, and you will see they are not producing new language. They just repeat what they hear. So just repeat the language they hear. Exactly. Okay. We are clear. Wonderful. Do we remember? And there are many other things, but oh, it's okay. You will have time. So keep this in mind. You have this in your readings because we have to revise next week for the test. So remember. And here we have some questions. Yes, as a revision also what you saw in your task or other questions. And many of them are already answered. So what is going on in the student's brain during the silent period? And so here we have the answer. What is going on in the brain during the silent period? Or what are they doing? What are children doing while they undergo the silent period? What are they doing? What is going on in the student's brain? For example. De lo que contestamos aquí. Okay, great. So first of all, you're right. First of all, they listen. And remember, from cognitivism, we know what happens in the brain. Listen to information. And what do they do in their brains? What is going? Please, what's going on in the student's brain? They listen to information. What else do they do in their brains? We know this from cognitivism. What do? You listen and you listen. You have it here. There is this verb here. You absorb information. And what else do you do in your brains?
Repeat.
Before repeating. Yes, and repeat words, that's the end, but there is something in the middle.
Understood?
Understand, process. Yes, make connections. Remember that we talked about making connections until the child sees the picture and connects. This is leg. Oh, okay, you will see it in the videos. Maybe it will be clearer for you when you see. Yes, when they see pictures, for example, when they see visuals, realia around them, and the words, and they connect everything they know, the name of the colors, names of things, make connections, understand. Okay, this is this. And repeat words, finally. They hear. Okay. Okay, much more different. Okay, any other question you would like us to revise now before we continue?
Yeah, teacher. I try to find the task, the 4 task, and I don't found it. Where is it?
It's on Educandus.
But what part of Educandus?
Okay. We will check again. Okay. So going back, we can answer another question before we continue. Susan. Which other question do you think is vital that we answer together? For example, what can you do to know if your students understand? It's a Phoebe, very important, understand what you're saying. So remember, your student is not going to produce discourse. Yes?
Explained by
Ellos no
the
producen un discurso. Okay, yes. So so what can you do? And you can do it by translating into Spanish or not using Spanish. What do we do? Yes, Phoebe?
That
Mm.
they explain their own in their own words.
Teachers can explain with other words using what? Apart from words, using other words. And how can you explain to your child who is very new to English? Very, very new. What else do you do? What else do you use? We have just said. We were talking about this. Acabamos de hablar de eso.
¿En cuál, teacher? ¿Cuál es?
This one. What can you do? Not using Spanish to know if your students understand what you are saying. You speak to children and then you need to know that they understand. So you can explain other words, but still you're using language. Yes. But
Through questions, easy questions.
Easy questions, very simple questions, very simple questions. And I know that my students understood, for example, when you were very young beginners and the teacher came and said, "Good morning, class."
Or teacher.
I don't know, take out your books. And what did you do? Did you answer with words or what did you do?
Maybe to do the children's that explain that, for example, I don't know, the instruction that you said, open your books.
And what
Children,
did the children
what
do?
are, yes, what have you do? ¿Qué deben hacer? In this case, if you say open your books, you open your books.
Yes, so you do the action.
Yes.
That's the way we understand X. You show the action and you expect the child to repeat the action. Excellent. So teachers can explain using other words and simple questions and show actions and expect, we can say, actions in return. So you respect actions, not words. So that's the first thing children do. They respond with their actions. And remember, you might have played Simon Says, for example. Oh, Simon says, touch your nose. And children would touch their noses, and touch your head. And you were not supposed to touch your head because you didn't say Simon Says. So all of these activities make it clear to the teacher, the students understand what they are saying, but of course they cannot produce linguistic messages. They show actions only. They respond with actions. Okay. And to answer the question that Vanessa was asking, or many of you probably were asking, here in this, we are going to revise this in groups. Yes, so first of all, you were creating a list of aspects of second language learning. Yes, what do you learn during the silent period? So complete this list. Okay, but I will let you discuss with the pair. Yes, van a discutir y luego lo vemos. Y el final, This one was a list of classroom activities that would help develop receptive skills. Remember here, receptive skills, reading and listening for students in the silent period. Yes, so we are not asking here for children to respond in writing or in speaking. Okay, and so we're going to divide in pairs. You're going to think of this and then we will discuss again together. We are back. Hello, so, okay. So do you remember what we were discussing? First of all, first was what do you learn during the silent period? So children or yes, learners in general learn vocabulary. They learn about phonemics, phonemic awareness. They learn pronunciation. There is a question mark, but I think they learn pronunciation. They learn elements of how they learn about elements of the language. How is the language produced? And grammar, yes, sentence structures. What else do you think they learn?
Teacher, are you sharing?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Estaba pensando igual, sirve que se enfoquen en el que enseña. Cuando estábamos hablando acerca del Open Your Book, que los niños se van a enfocar en lo que el educador haga.
So they learn vocabulary.
Y
Yeah,
Phoebe puso algo en el chat, jiji.
And they learn what else? And open your books, what are they learning?
No, enfoque en lo que el focus on educators.
Focus, yes.
The action of educators.
Focus on educators or speakers. Yes, educators or speakers in general. Messages. Yes, exactly. They learn to pay attention to what is going on. And we said that at the beginning. So they pay attention to surroundings a lot. So yes, this is great. Yes, exactly. So they learn to focus. That's great. Yes, exactly. And children, since they are born, yes, since they are born, they are focusing on everything around. When the parents speak, when other adults speak, when older brothers, sisters speak around them, they pay attention. Yes, so they focus. They learn to pay attention. Yes, exactly. This is fundamental. Yeah? Pay attention to surroundings. Otherwise, we know that the children, if they don't do this, they might have certain kind of problem in connecting with the environment. Yes, so their learning process will be different. Yes, excellent. Plus, they learn characteristics of the language. We said they learn pronunciation, structure of sentences, and they learn the meaning. They learn meanings and when to use different, so they learn semantics and pragmatics, meanings and the situations in which they use one message or the other. Yes. So even if they say no later, if they can say no, they are using it with the meaning, the correct meaning, and in the correct moment. So meanings. And pragmatics. Use of language. Moments. In precise moments. So when do you use certain messages? Okay, and the list of activities. which activities can you do to help children develop these receptive skills, listening and eventually reading without producing?
With Javi and Kata, we think read them read them a book.
Reading a book, yes, a book or story aloud. Yes, we saw this last semester. A book, a story aloud, exactly. So whenever you're doing reading aloud, yes, you're developing listening and reading skills. Exactly. Then another one.
And then show them videos so they can copy.
Yes, show videos. Yes. Yes, and students can copy or follow. Yes, again, expose them to the language. Yes.
Mm.
And copy eventually. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Expose them to language as much as possible. Yeah. What else?
Learning songs.
Yes, because it's repetition and children are not supposed to create a new song. They repeat the words, the lyrics, so it is easier for them to repeat. Yes, not to produce a new song. And any other?
And yeah, and games when they should to follow the teacher, like Simon says.
Yes, play games like Simon says, or sing a song like Head and Shoulders. Play games, exactly. And games can be also silent. Yes, and you're also going to see that in a video. Yes. Play games in silence, just following the teacher's commands. Oops. Okay, perfect. So great, it's the end of task 4. So it's easy for you to complete. We did the first part and now this is the last part. So you need to have completed it by today and uploaded it for feedback. So that next week you can put it in your bitácora. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, Catalina, so you can pass this message to Vanessa as well. So the bitácoras need to be in complete. Task 4 is complete. Now we begin task 5, which is not difficult. We hope we can do it today in groups. And you can add it also to your bitácora. Okay, plus we have a forum with this task 5. Okay, so we are starting another section of Unit 2, which is still language acquisition during the silent period. And in this case, we are going to recognize methodological principles and teaching strategies to develop receptive and productive skills. Remember, we were talking about them, yes, in the previous task, yes, receptive skills, reading and listening, according to different learning stages and characteristics of English learners. We are going to read it's a short document produced in Canada with an analysis of how is the behavior of English learners in a special situation, circumstance, but we can adapt it to our situation as well. And according to stages of proficiency, remember that, for example, Europe considers that learners have different levels of proficiency in A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. You know, ¿sí? Conocen los niveles de dominio de lengua inglesa. In North America and Canada, they divide these stages in a different way. We listened to them to a video last class in which it was pre-production. Do you remember the stages? Pre-production stage. In task 4, you have them. You have the stages. Can you read them, Phoebe, please?
I'm lost, teacher.
In the task. Okay, I will share with you. So please check that in task 4 from last week we have the stages. Tenemos los estadios por lo que pasa el aprendiente. Remember, we have the different stages. So the silent period is one stage. El periodo de silencio era uno.
Yes.
Y luego seguían otros.
Pre-silent?
So we have, which are they? One is a pre-production stage. The other one is early.
Pre-silent early?
Early production. Can you see that? Can you see the document?
No.
Here now.
Okay.
The early production.
Period.
Speech emergence is this when you start producing discourse. ¿Sí? Cuando emerge el discurso propio. Then we have intermediate and advanced. Esta es otra manera de categorizar niveles de dominio de la lengua. Diferente a lo que hace Europa con el nivel A1, A2, A3. This is another category, but it's okay as well. Here we're talking in language acquisition and talking about children. So then you will read that Canada and the United States have another characterization and division of categories according to different levels. So that is what you're going to see now. I will show them to you. But before that, what do you think are the characteristics of English learners according to their different levels of proficiency? So how do you think a beginner learner can be categorized? So a beginner learner, one characteristics, beginner learner. Change the color. So how can we categorize a beginner learner? What can he do? What can't he do? Come on. What can a beginner learner do? We have been discussing.
Repeat.
What can a beginner learner do? Acá estamos discutiendo. Okay, so now, which characteristics, yes, do you think English learners have according to different levels of proficiency? So a beginner learner, what can he do according to our discussion?
Follow orders, follow instructions.
Yes, exactly. They can follow instructions. Instructions, yes. For example, this is a beginner learner. He can follow instructions by, by listening, yeah? So a beginner learner can follow instructions. Again, what else can the beginner learner do? Another thing. What else can he do when he's at the beginning level? We have been talking.
I'm thinking.
Here. What do they do?
Absorb information.
Yes, they listen and process information. Yes. Listen to and process information. Yes. Now, I have a more difficult information question for you. Now, an intermediate learner. Ya pasó de nivel. So now we are an intermediate level. What do you think he or she can do? Wait a minute, I will change the color. So first of all, they listen and process information and respond to instructions. What can they do when they have speech emergency? Emerge, cuando emerge. Cuando emerge el lenguaje. So intermediate learner. What can he do?
Students are cutting and speak with short phrases.
Excellent,
simple
Catalina. Speak with short phrases. For example, something short. My name is. And we saw this last week. Do you remember with the timeline? ¿Se acuerdan la línea del tiempo de la tarea 4? Lo que iban haciendo de paso a paso. So intermediate learner speak with short phrases and sentences. My name is, I live in. Excellent, excellent. This is it. An advanced learner, ¿qué podrá ser un aprendiente avanzado? An advanced learner.
In the stage of advanced fluency.
For example, Phoebe. Phoebe, you're already advanced. What do you think you can do?
I don't know.
What do you do? When I ask you a question, can you answer in complete sentences with your own discourse, Phoebe, Catalina, Javiera? Yes. So you can do more than just say, my name is Phoebe, I live in Linares. You can do more, one more. What else can you do? We have a chapter. Advanced fluency students will feel comfortable. Okay, yes, you feel comfortable. Okay, there are different levels to that. But Catalina says students feel as comfortable in English as their native language. Well, that's one level of advanced, yes. Before feeling the same as in your native language, you feel more comfortable. And what else? Why do you feel comfortable? Feels comfortable because what can he do?
We comprehend that educator speaks, and we can produce according to our own thinking.
Yes, because they understand messages and can produce own messages. That's very important. Even when there are different levels, okay? As at your levels, you can produce your own messages, even with mistakes, but you are not at the stage of the beginner, not at the stage of an intermediate, probably an advanced intermediate, yes? You are more and more acquiring independence in your production, and that's great, yes? Messages and can produce original messages. Original language, yes, own language, their own language. Okay, great, great, great. So I think we have advanced a lot. And this is part of your new task. So keep this in mind, okay? New task 5. Okay, so which are the characteristics of early learners? So you're going to read the 2 beginner levels, levels 1 and 2, beginning and developing, and complete the chart. So you're going to complete this chart. So this is in task 5. I am going to send you task 5. Check the website. We are going to check the website, and we will discuss how do we complete this chart. Okay. So this is the chart in the PPT, but I will show you the actual website. Let me check the website, and you can see clearly there. Okay. The characteristics of English language learners. Let me explain first. This is made for the United States and Canada, okay? So this is the situation of English learners in an English-speaking language, but many of these characteristics we can still see in our learners here, in which the surrounding languages, the main language is not English. So you're going to focus on beginning level and developing level, yes? So this is like a large beginning level, yes? Here we are more at an intermediate level, yes? So here this will be a large beginning level, and you can see here characteristics. What do the students do? For example, they rely on the first language, yes? So we know that if a child is in the United States or in Chile, what do? They want everything in their mother tongue, yes? Aunque el niño, el aprendiente esté en Estados Unidos o acá en Chile, siempre va a estar pensando que necesita esa ayuda de la lengua materna para comprender, okay? For example, yes? So, let me see if you understand. Okay? Okay, so you will read the task here in the while reading, while watching. Here is the link to the, can you see the link to the chart?
Mm-hmm.
And here you have 2 examples that we can do together from the chart. So we will see the characteristics and what we do in regards to those characteristics. For example, so one characteristic is that beginner level children respond with 1 or 2 words. We were just saying, yes, they can say very few words, they repeat very few words. And for example, they can say yes or no. So what we do in order to help these children or guide them or increase their level of production. For example, ask yes, no questions. So the very beginning level, the teacher will say, Phoebe, do you like school? Yes, for example. Do you like pizza? Yes. You can see the little children responding like this. Yes, very simple questions and very simple answers. For example, another characteristic, elementary school students feel bored attending grammar classes. So have you seen a teacher of children teaching grammar? Probably not, yes. What can we do in order to solve this problem? What can we do and not teach grammar to little children? Because they cannot follow, yes, they will lose attention. What is the pedagogical response here? What can we do instead of teaching them grammar? So little children cannot listen to long discourse, yes, to long classes, explanations. But they learn grammar, they learn structures. How do they do that? ¿Cómo aprenden las estructuras? Vivi.
Solamente se me viene activities like writing short sentence.
Writing before writing. Remember, we are not here now in production, but receptive. ¿Cuáles son las actividades receptivas que estoy haciendo primero? First of all, they are receiving, yes, input. What activities can you do for them to receive some information about grammar? That is not reading, not writing, and not speaking, for sure.
Listening.
Listening to what? Oh, sorry, I changed the...
Like a song of grammar.
Yes, like listening to songs, yes. Listening to songs where a structure is repeated, yes? Structure is repeated, yes. There are songs in which they repeat a structure, yes? What do you do? What do you do? What are you doing now? Whatever. I do not know a song now, but I am brushing my teeth. What are you doing? I am doing my homework, for example. So by means of a song, you can repeat a structure. Yes, and you're not teaching grammar in a class, yes, a long class about grammar. This is the present continuous, and you don't do this with little children. Just as an example, okay? But you can find many more examples about this in on the internet. So you are going to read this document, and then, yes, finally we will have some videos of which I want us to watch together, one or two, just to round up what we have been discussing about little children and beginners and how they learn language, okay, and how they react during their silent period. Okay, so we're going to watch a video, and you are going to focus on the following questions. So we can discuss this video, and then you can continue with the other videos when you do your task. So what activities can you watch? Yes, what can you watch in this video? What does the teacher do? And how do the children participate in this activity, okay? So remember the context. Teacher Mark Kulek is an American teacher in Japan, and he teaches young learners, very, very young learners in Japan. He teaches English in pre-K, I think, very little children. And so he already has a routine, and yes, and this is a video that he does after he has taught vocabulary to the children, okay? So he's just practicing that vocabulary. Okay, let us listen. Okay, so look at the pictures. Okay, here's.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Okay, ask me, okay? Ready, go. How are you? I'm good. I'm great. One more time. I'm wonderful. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm not so good. I'm thirsty. I'm sad. I'm surprised. I'm angry. I'm scared. Oh no. I'm sleepy. I'm shocked. I'm happy. Oh, see you later. Have a good one. You too. Have a nice day. Take it easy. Take it easy. Bye.
Okay, so could you see? Could you see, Teacher Mark?
Yes.
Okay, so some of the characteristics, yes, and you can see many more, and he does the same phrases in another video with movements. And so, as you can see, many of the characteristics we have seen in beginners are here. So can these children produce their own language? ¿Producen ellos su propio lenguaje? The children?
Teacher, I didn't listen to you. Can you repeat? My dog
Yes.
is.
Okay. So the question is, can the children produce their language alone, their own
No.
sentences? No, they can't. Okay. So what activity can you, it's like a kind of dialogue. Can you see this video? It's like a kind of dialogue. Teacher Mark has an activity. What do they do?
When they show them pictures with words about
Shows
a dialogue.
yes, kind of dialogue. Pictures with words. As part of the as a part of dialogue as a part of a long dialogue. Yes. Okay. And what does the teacher do? So teacher Mark. And so what is the activity? So he shows pictures. I think this is what he does. Yes, what the teacher does. But what is the activity? Can we describe it?
They say, like someone says.
Yes, so the teacher shows a picture and children shows answers. Yes, answers by showing pictures and words. So he's all the time making some kind of mimic. Yes, shows a picture and there is a word there as well with different vocabulary. Yes, so he does different things by showing a picture with a word and by mimicking different vocabulary. Yes, mimicking different vocabulary. Vocabulary meaning. And the children ask questions, the same questions always. How are you? Yes. The children ask the same question always. And they receive different answers. Okay. But how do these children participate? By doing what? How do the children participate? Do they stand up and ask an original question?
Repeat what teacher says.
Repeating, yes. Repeating the same questions to the teacher. Yes, they don't create a new question. It's not that they follow a long conversation. So they follow a script only. So they repeat same question. So they know that question and different meanings, yes, according to different different states, yes, different adjectives of according to how the person is, yes, and how he feels, but they don't follow a new conversation. They don't create a new conversation. They just repeat the same question and receive some answer and learn a new word, but they don't follow up on that word. It's just on the basis of repetition. Okay, so in that sense, you're going to analyze so the first one is Mark Kulek. And in the same way, you're going to continue the analysis of the other videos with different activities. So it's about learning vocabulary, using pictures or movement, different things. All in all, yes, to get to the idea, yes, of understanding what do children do in their beginner level, yes, while they are learning a language at the beginning level. So again, if we go back to the Canadian division analysis, yes, categorization of learning levels in children, and we can complete one more step of the chart. Which will you choose? Yes, remember that we are completing a chart. Yes, I'm helping you complete the chart. This chart. This chart. Okay, so we did two. What else? Which other characteristic do we have here? Oh, you can connect it to the video or not. We find in this categorization by the Canadian, I will let you know, is the state of Alberta in Canada. It's a division, an analysis they have done with characteristics of English learners. So remember, so you can see here, for example, teacher Mark doesn't use the native language of children. No, he doesn't. What characteristic can we see? What do they do? What does teacher Mark do that is in this list? Can you see anything related to that? Okay, let us read the list again. And so in this first list, there are some characteristics that you can see in teacher Mark's class. Which is that, or are that those ones? And what can we do as an activity with children?
Copy and repeat oral instructions.
Exactly. So copy and repeat oral instruction questions and model responses. Exactly, that's what they do. They can copy exactly what the teacher tells them. Yes. And they respond to model language. ¿Sí? El profesor Mark es un modelo. Ofrece un modelo de lenguaje que ellos necesitan. Y entonces ellos repiten. Yes? Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, Once we have this answer here, yes, you have to do this in your own task. So students copy and repeat oral instructions, questions, and model responses. What response do you have as a teacher? Because they can do this, but what are you going to do as a teacher to help them learn in this situation? See, if we do the same as teacher Mark, okay, how do we explain that? So what does the teacher do? Catalina is back. Pardon, students copy. So the teacher, what does the teacher do? Organizes activities. Which, what do they do? Hello, Catalina, estamos analizando. Ya estamos terminando, so this is the last. What did we say? So what do they do in this activity? I help you, come on, Phoebe.
I think just explain the most clear possible.
Yes, explain.
Like I will say something and you repeat after me.
Yes, and offers a model, yes? And offers a model of language for the children to repeat. Yes, exactly. Excellent. Sorry, whatever. To repeat. Excellent. So activities in which a teacher explains clearly, yes, and offers a model of language. So he explains to them, ask me the question, how are you? And he answers. And so the children know what they have to repeat, yes? And they even can model the responses because they can copy what he says as a response. I am wonderful. And they try to, because they know a song from before. So the children try to repeat the same, I'm wonderful. So they all the time repeat what the teacher has already taught them as language, and modeled as language. Okay, so this chart you can continue writing in your, by following the task, the chart from Canada, and complete task number 5. By the end, and I think we can start with this, checking this next class. So please tell your classmates, next class is mandatory. Es obligación la próxima clase porque tenemos que repasar para el test. Así que no puedo tener a todo el mundo ausente. Eso no puede suceder. Okay, Phoebe, thank you for your support.
Hoy día fue por la lluvia que tengo, al menos quienes avisaron fue Daphne, Pau y Vane que no tenían net, no tienen luz.
Exacto. Sé que fue un fin de semana horrible, pero tienen esta posibilidad de ver el video, pero la semana que viene sí, vamos a terminar discutiendo esto. Una actividad para trabajar con los niños, yes, an activity or 2 activities to work to support this understanding, to support this development of receptive skills, understanding the characteristics of learners. Yes, and then we will post to the forum. Yes, okay, so this will be for our discussion next class. Nevertheless, you start doing chapter task 5 with everything we have discussed today. Yes, so with all our discussion today, you can start task 5. Sí, pueden empezar la tarea 5 ya con toda la discusión de esta clase. Hemos leído, tenemos algo y hemos visto un video, hemos discutido ese video, so you have something to start doing your task 5. Of course, next Monday, we will complete task 5 and put it in the bitácora. Okay. Now, for final reflection, one thing you learned today. One thing.
Silent period.
Yes,
And
a follow-up. A follow-up on the silent period. Okay, a follow-up on the silent period. Yes, and characteristics.
beginners to learn a second language, a language.
Yes, beginner language learners. Yes, beginner language learners. Yes, exactly. One question, you would like to ask? One question?
How many activities can I do to teach this?
Yes, exactly. How
Or
many
to
activities?
attend the diversity to students?
Yes, how many activities? Yes. Can we do in order to attend, to the diversity, yes, of students, characteristics, and language and learning process. Yes, because they all learn differently and they have different needs. Yes, and learning process. Yes, exactly. Not all beginners are the same. These are general characteristics that can help us, yes, manage general strategies. Yes. Okay, excellent. Yes, and that's something we need to continue reading, practicing, putting into practice, yes, and reflecting and creating. You're creators. You are very, very creative. So this is something we're going to discuss next class further. So you will check materials to accomplish task 5. You have a copy. I will upload on Educandos the next copy. Unit 2, remember Unit 2, the silent period. Then follow the classes and all the materials. Finish your previous participation in forums. Finish them, and this one will be the last forum that we will talk about next class. I will continue grading all forums. Yes, forum 2 and 3, I will continue grading. So this is an opportunity to participate in the forum. Complete your tasks, las tareas atrasadas, delayed tasks, bitácoras updated, yes, and contact me in case you need any help. Okay, are we ready? Do we need anything else for now?
Can you repeat? I'm lost.
Do you have any questions? Questions?
No yet. Just I will try to do the 2 tasks I should to do, 4 and 5.
4 and 5, okay.
We'll be ready the next week.
For next week, excellent. So I thank you for attending. Please tell your classmates, Phoebe, that the materials will be on Educandos. They have to finish task 4, so you have answers and help in this PPT to finish task 4, also to start task 5. Yes? And we will continue revising everything next week for the quiz, for the midterm quiz. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so next week I hope to see you all again, and we will discuss this last part of task 5 and the revision of the previous knowledge. Okay, previous tasks.
Okay.
Okay, hope to see you next week. Have a good week.
Thank you, teacher. Take
You're
care.
welcome. You too. Take care.
Have a good week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.